waste. It's a myth. I think that throughout all of our field visits, we've all seen how we can get to a zero waste. So there's no such thing as waste. We should need to change our mentalities to think something more of generation. All right, maybe that's when we can get the attention of most. We commonly have this thing of African problem, African solution, right? But the world is becoming global more and more often. And with these type of visits, we get to interact, we get to see, we get to expose ourselves, and then we get that template. We can't say I'm going to have that same machine in Africa because we've got unemployment problems, we've got various issues that we know very well are barriers to entry. So with the exposure that we've been given, I think it would be quite important for us to come back home, see how we can relate these ideas to what's practical back home, because there are certain things that might not really be a copy and paste solution, and be honest with ourselves. We speak a lot about successes, but we're not speaking enough about failures. And we can learn from failures by failing forward. I mean, we are having some success right now with our projects of the wastewater treatment plant preparation and the waste to energy, but we may fail, we don't know. And from those failures, we need to educate the rest of our brothers and sisters of what not to do so that you don't do the same mistakes, which is what you are doing here, showing us on how to sustainably use resources in order for us not to follow in those same footsteps as what you have. So let's speak about failures a bit more. Let's speak about challenges a bit more, and be very open and candid, and not candid with them. It's very important. Another thing that I'd like to see a bit more is a bit more female participation. I have a lot of respect for the mayors that are representing, female mayors that are representing big districts in Africa, and the empowerment of women along those lines, because we need to move together. We can't just marginalize some sorts of successes, especially when it comes to legislation. Thank you very much.
Hello, good morning again. 5 days ago, when I came here, if someone would ask me, what is your main problem in Arusha, I would without a doubt say a management of solid waste. That was our main problem. But 5 days later, I have realized that that was actually never a problem, but rather a solution. I just didn't know that I was sitting in a gold mine. Now, with this circular economic concept, when I get back to Arusha, of course, I will start doing some initiatives on how to work on it. So I have learned that the solid waste has never been a problem. My city is producing 550 tons every new day. That's about 78 trucks of 7 tons going to the landfill. And my city has changed landfills like 4 times for the last 20 years. And actually, now we are in the plan also to change to another landfill. But I do not think that now that will be the case, because now I have this lesson. I have also learned that education is the key factor for this. And when I go back there, I will put the emphasis to young people, to youth, and the women. What I have also learned is that financing has never been the problem, but lack of proper planning, lack of project write-up is a problem, and the lack of sustainability and resilience in this. I think that is the main problem, because I am now aware of the European Investment Bank, and Professor Epi told me clearly that if you have a proper write-up, then the money is there. So that is what I've learned. And I also learned that we need a proper partnership. With the proper partnership, I think we are going to get there. And finally, what I've learned here, I've learned that there's like in the cities, in the tour we went last time, there are about 5 solid waste management companies. One specialized in organic waste, the other one specialized in papers, glass, and metals, and so on. While in Arusha, we have like 25 companies putting everything together, dumping to the landfill, and then you find people doing the scratch there, which I don't think is the right way. So when I get back down there, I think I will start realigning. Of course, I will sit down with my councillors and start realigning those companies to specialize in a particular waste, for example, papers, organic, glass, metal, etc. I think that way it is going to be easier, and if you have the proper financing for those companies, I'm very much sure that we will make money out of it, and we will finally we keep the city clean. Because if you ask every mayor here, he has a challenge with the dirty city. Our cities are not that much clean. So with this, with these 5 days here, we've learned a great deal of lesson, and I'm sure circular economy is the key, and is a new source of revenue to our cities. This, when I say a new source of revenues, the mayors understand me. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
Only one remark relating also to Timothy and you. I think it's very important that you also prepare for failure. If you change systems, there's always a risk that you fail. And if you are prepared for the failure, then you can politically work with it. And when you go to Europe or the United States or wherever, people always show you the success stories. I could give you 1 week failure tours. They could show you so many things which did not work. But when we make a failure, we analyze it, come back and make it better. That's how we are educated. Biogas in Germany took 40 years to be at this level, and we did so many bullshit in this case. University in Germany still are a lot of bullshit places. This is a unique place, but if you go to other universities, the buildings are still nonsense. So don't be too much afraid of failing, because failing is a way to be better. I know for mayors and politicians, they hate to fail. And this is the nature of things. But if you include it in your strategy, in your management strategy, they talk to people, you prepare them that sorting might not be so good in the first year if you sort waste, because they must learn to sort, and you expect not to have 100% sorting results. And then if it's better, then people will be happy because they are outperforming themselves. And this we should also learn from each other. And you can ask me about failures, and I also can give you this, but I don't want to do it in the first week. This should be a motivation thing, and then we can start talking about things what not should be done.
I just want to also make a remark. Be more confident. Have you ever think about how a German municipality can benefit from you? There's a lot. When I came back here after 15 years, for me it was like nothing is happening here. Everything's so slow until one decision is done and projects come into implementation. It takes a long time. And so not everything is shiny what you see here in Germany. So we can learn a lot from your countries. You have to manage municipalities with less financial resources, personal resources, and you have crisis, water shortage, you have light off, and you still manage the society, and that is where we can learn a lot from you, how you manage the thing. And I worked also with German development workers. We place them in metropolitan and district assemblies, and later on I asked myself, who is developing who? And it is really, in fact, you have to be more confident. We can learn a lot from you. And then the issue with the cocoa. I was also producing, I had a lot of women groups doing sheep butter processing. And at this time, the women were collecting the shea nuts themselves, and the prices were somehow okay. But then the global north, they are interested in not buying the shea butter, they are more interested in buying the nuts themselves. So they come and like the cocoa, they produce it themselves in their own countries, and they buy it for cheaper country in African countries. Since that, the China prices went very up, and this is a problem, and that is why I'm here to fight for these issues which have to be changed. Otherwise, you will never come out of also this problem. But be more confident.